Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and not owing anybody anything. No credit card balance. No personal loan. No monthly payments eating away at your paycheck. No anxiety every time your phone buzzes with a banking notification. Just freedom. For millions of people, that sounds impossible. Because debt has a strange way of becoming normal. At first it's temporary. A credit card for emergencies. A loan to cover a difficult month. A balance you promise yourself you'll pay off later. Then months pass. Then years. And one day you realize something uncomfortable. You're working hard. But your money never seems to stay yours. A portion of every paycheck already belongs to someone else. The worst part? Many people aren't losing to the debt itself. They're losing to the interest. The silent force that keeps balances alive long after the original purchase is forgotten. Today, we're talking about one of the most effective debt repayment strategies ever created. A strategy used by financially disciplined people all over the world. It's called the Avalanche Method. And while it isn't always the easiest approach emotionally, it can save you a massive amount of money over time. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how it works, why it works, and how to use it to finally start winning the battle against debt. Let's begin. Part 1. Why most people stay in debt longer than they need to. Most people think debt is a spending problem. Sometimes it is. But often, it's a strategy problem. Imagine someone has 3 debts. Credit card A. $2,000 balance. 25% interest. Credit card B. $5,000 balance. 18% interest. Personal loan. $10,000 balance. 8% interest. Most people don't know which debt to attack first. So they do one of 3 things. They pay random amounts. They focus on whichever bill is stressing them out. Or they simply make minimum payments forever. And that's exactly what lenders hope happens. Because minimum payments create an illusion of progress. You feel responsible. You made the payment. You stayed current. Everything seems fine. But interest keeps working. Month after month. Year after year. Sometimes people pay thousands in interest while barely reducing the original balance. That's why debt can feel like running on a treadmill. You're moving, but not getting anywhere. The real enemy isn't always the balance. The real enemy is expensive interest. And that's what the Avalanche Method attacks first. Because every extra dollar of interest is money that could have been saved, invested, used for emergencies, used for your future. Instead, it disappears. And once you understand that, the Avalanche Method starts making perfect sense. Part 2. How the Avalanche Method actually works. The Avalanche Method is surprisingly simple. Step 1. List every debt you have. Write down balance, minimum payment, interest rate. Now here's the important part. Ignore the balances for a moment. Focus only on interest rates. Then rank your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. For example, credit card A, 25%. Credit card B, 18%. Personal loan, 8%. The debt with the highest interest rate becomes your target. You continue making minimum payments on every debt. But every extra dollar goes toward the highest interest balance. Once that debt is eliminated, you move to the next highest rate. Then the next. Then the next. Like an avalanche rolling downhill. Each victory creates more momentum. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have an extra $300 every month for debt repayment. Instead of spreading that money across every debt, you concentrate it. All $300 attacks the highest interest debt. Why? Because that debt is costing you the most money. Every month it survives. It keeps charging you more. Eliminating it first reduces future interest costs faster. And mathematically, that's the smartest move. Here's the part many people love. The Avalanche Method often saves hundreds, sometimes thousands, in interest payments compared to less strategic approaches. And the larger the debt, the bigger the potential savings. That's why financially analytical people often prefer this method. It treats debt repayment like a math problem. Because ultimately, that's exactly what it is. But there is one challenge. And it's an important one. Part 3, the biggest reason people quit. The Avalanche Method is mathematically powerful. But emotionally, it can be difficult. Here's why. Sometimes your highest interest debt isn't your smallest debt. And that means it may take longer to eliminate. Imagine your highest interest balance is $8,000, while another balance is only $500. The Avalanche Method tells you to attack the $8,000 first, even though the $500 balance would disappear much faster. And that's where many people struggle. Because human beings need progress. We need wins. We need proof that our effort is working. That's why some people prefer the Snowball Method. The Snowball focuses on the smallest balance first. It creates quick victories. The Avalanche focuses on saving the most money. Neither method is wrong. But if your goal is maximizing efficiency, the Avalanche Method usually wins. The key is staying committed long enough to see results. Because debt freedom is not built in 1 month. It's built through hundreds of decisions. One payment at a time. One sacrifice at a time. 1 month at a time. And honestly, this is where most debt success stories are created. Not through huge income increases. Not through lottery winnings. Not through financial miracles. But through consistency. The people who escape debt are often ordinary people doing ordinary things repeatedly. Bringing lunch from home. Working extra hours. Selling unused items. Reducing unnecessary spending. Making one more payment than required. Then doing it again next month. And eventually, the balance starts shrinking. The interest starts losing. And momentum starts building. The emotional truth about debt. Let's talk about something rarely discussed. Debt isn't only financial. It's emotional. Debt can create guilt, stress, embarrassment, fear. Sometimes people avoid looking at their accounts because they're afraid of what they'll see. Sometimes they delay opening bills. Sometimes they pretend the problem isn't there. Not because they're irresponsible. Because they're overwhelmed. And that's understandable. But here's the truth. You cannot defeat a debt you refuse to face. The moment you list every balance, every interest rate, every payment, you take back some control. Maybe not all of it, but some. And control creates confidence. Confidence creates action. Action creates progress. That's how people escape debt. Not through perfection. Through persistence. Main takeaway. So what is the Avalanche Method? It's a debt repayment strategy that focuses on eliminating the highest interest debt first. Why? Because high interest debt costs you the most money. And reducing those costs accelerates your path to financial freedom. Remember these 3 key lessons. First, interest is the real enemy. Second, focus extra payments on the highest interest debt. Third, consistency beats intensity. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a plan you can stick to. Because every payment moves you closer to freedom. Even when progress feels slow. Imagine where you could be 1 year from now. 1 less debt. Lower stress. More control. More confidence. Maybe even debt-free. That future starts with a decision. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel. We break down personal finance in a way that's practical, honest, and easy to understand. No fake gurus. No unrealistic promises. Just real strategies that help real people improve their financial lives. And let us know in the comments. Are you using the Avalanche Method or the Snowball Method? And what debt are you working to eliminate first? Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.